I'm Troy Kirby with a quick look at the 2022 Washington State legislative session. The Senate Transportation Committee heard public testimony on Senate Bill 5974, which addresses several transportation resource issues such as climate change and fuel taxation authority.
On the carbon emissions reduction account, as just a reminder, this is the account that was established last year with the cap and invest system, where it would receive the proceeds, a portion of the proceeds from the auctions that are held under that bill. And once that program gets up and running in 2023. So what's assumed here is that there is specificity provided for the Climate Commitment Act dollars in terms of their specific allowable uses for carbon reduction. They're specified into certain categories. There's also two newly created accounts, the Climate Active Transportation Account and the Climate Transportation Programs, and there's specificity about what those accounts can be utilized for. And then there are the same provisions that were part of the original Climate Commitment Act in terms of environmental justice and overburdened communities are applied to these new accounts that are created for those two things I just mentioned.
I'm looking forward to the testimony today. I appreciate the efforts that our good chair and those across the rotunda that have put this package together. I know it's not easy, but I would be remiss if I did not clarify that we are disappointed that the Republicans were not included in this package, and that as you look at it, it appears to be a Christmas tree of everything that the other side of the aisle would like to have had. That's their prerogative. So I'll look forward to the testimony. Thank you.
This is important to get us from point A to B. Transportation needs to be clean, it needs to be affordable, it needs to be accessible. It's also very important to remember that 40% of this money needs to be invested in communities of color and impacted communities.
First, I want to note for the record the complete lack of transparency associated with the proposed export fuel tax. Had we been approached for our input, I would have stated without reservation that no state imposes an export tax on fuel exported from one state to another that results in the exporting state raising any material revenue. Washington law is like any other state who have adopted tax at the rack to allow for an accurate tracking of fuel so that appropriate taxes are paid, fraud is prevented, and audits can occur.
We recognize these are challenging times and there is a dire need for transportation infrastructure funding. This is our bread and butter for ensuring good family wage jobs and recovery during this COVID economy. We appreciate you, Chair Fye, and all the negotiators for your efforts during this bringing this forward. From 405 to 167, $3 billion in maintenance and preservation, Hood River, Gateway, U.S. Trestle, ferries, transit, and the I-5 bridge. We are seeing quality opportunities all over the state. However, we would be remiss if we didn't express concern over some of the creative funding solutions utilized. While we applaud creative solutions to challenging issues, the export fuel tax appears particularly ripe for legal dispute.
According to the intent section of this bill, you're adding another carbon price, which is not in the spirit or the letter of the CCA. 2, the export tax makes our product significantly less attractive in other states. It's 6 cents a gallon on top of 3 cents a gallon from existing market tax.
King County appreciates the inclusion of several of our priority projects in the transportation package. Inclusion of several rapid ride lines and East Rail corridor will improve access to housing, jobs, and services for many in our community. Electrification projects will help Metro Transit meet our goal of transitioning to an all-electric fleet by 2035 and deploying those first electric buses in places where people are disproportionately affected.
Partners are highlighting other benefits from this package, so I'm going to focus on the importance of cleaning up heavier vehicles. They cause a lot of climate pollution, their exhaust hurts our health, and it's very clear those who live near ports and freight corridors are disproportionately harmed. We must get started right now in addressing this. An example is California runs a popular program called HVIP, which provides point-of-sale vouchers for medium and heavy-duty vehicles. For 2022, they have budgeted $569 million for this program. As a result, they have over 700 zero-emission trucks on the road today, compared to our 8.
I'm here to speak in support of the Move Ahead Washington proposal and the resources necessary to make it possible. Public transit is a vital and valuable public resource that hundreds of thousands of Washingtonians count on to get to work, to school, to appointments, to opportunity, and to each other every day.
Thank you for watching the 2022 Washington State Legislative Session.